Our next question then is, how much do we have after 5 years? Okay, I just posed this question arbitrarily. Well, let's think about it. In 5 years, at 4 compoundings per year, we're going to compound 5 times 4, 20 times. That's pretty obvious. So how much are we going to have? Well, we're going to have our 1.015 to the 20th times $10,000, aren't we? Okay? Okay, now what's our expression for the principal after t years? Our principal, of course, is how much we have. This would be our principal after 5 years. What's our principal after t years? Well, people often wrote down 1.015 to the t times $10,000. Okay? That's on the right track, but it's not quite correct. So let's break it down a little bit. And a lot of people wrote down the correct expression too, but how many times are you going to compound in 2 years? Well, you're doing it 4 times a year, so you're going to compound it 4t times. And when you do that, you see that you're going to end up with 1.05 raised to the 4t times $10,000. Okay? Now, a kind of a verification, okay? It's not a complete verification, but at least a plausibility test. Maybe that's what I should have called it. Anyhow, let's plug in t equals 5. Okay, if we plug in t equals 5, we get 4 times 5, that's 20, right? So we have 1.015 to the 20th times $10,000. But of course, that's what we got when we did it for 5 years without abstracting it all the way to an expression in terms of t. Okay, so when you plug in t equals 5, then you get the same result you had before. Okay, now we want to symbolize all this because we don't always have 6% interest, and whatever interest we have is not always compounded 4 times a year. And our principal, we don't always start with $10,000. It's always nice to have $10,000 to start with, but we might invest more, we might invest less, depending on what it is, what kind of transactions we're making, okay? So, we want to talk about what we do for a general interest rate, a general number of compoundings, and a general principal.